Welcome back on the VST channel, guys. I have here the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, the Xiaomi 14 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max on the right. Now, in this video, I'm going to test the display in very bright conditions. It's very important to understand what is going on right now. Here on the Xiaomi 14 Pro, we have an LTPO AMOLED display with 68 billion colors, 120 Hz, guys. It has HDR10, Dolby Vision, and technically it should go and achieve 3000 nits peak brightness. And of course, we are about to test this. Here on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, we have the LTPO display again. It's a Super Retina XDR OLED, 120 Hz again, HDR10, Dolby Vision, and it should do 2000 nits in high brightness mode. And here, guys, on the left, the S23 Ultra Dynamic AMOLED, 120 Hz again, HDR10 plus, guys. It should be able to achieve around 1700 and a bit more peak nits brightness. So this here is 6.8 inches, 6.73 inches, guys, and 6.7 inches. Let's now prep up the phones. I will turn off the auto brightness on the iPhone. This is the only way that I know how to do so. Then I'm gonna go inside the display and I'm gonna make sure that True Tone is disabled and display settings are up to the maximum. Now, on the Xiaomi 14 Pro, when I go on the display and brightness, guys, display is set to the full brightness, auto brightness is removed, and I do also have a sunlight mode that should expand the brightness range and adjust brightness automatically under bright conditions. If I turn the auto brightness on, guys, this function gets killed. So I will use the setting here. And on my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, under display, I'm gonna use similar settings. So the brightness slider is to the maximum, adaptive brightness is turned off in the first test, and the extra brightness is turned on. Now I'm gonna play a 4K 60 FPS HDR video, and I'm gonna go and choose the highest available settings. Technically, on the paper, the Xiaomi 14 Pro should be able to achieve the best results. But let's see how it goes. So, playing the video. And if you're here for the first time, guys, you might want to sub for the channel and check all my extensive testing. Alright, just on the first glance, guys, I can see that the Xiaomi 14 Pro is actually not brighter compared to the competitors here, which is the iPhone 15 Pro Max and also the Galaxy S23 Ultra. I'm not sure if that's a bug with YouTube, because it could as well be. People were able to measure almost 3000 nits when they were doing manual tests. Let me pause the video and let me play this again. Please keep watching and let me know what you think down below in the comments. We have the same footage running with a very minor delay, but I still believe this gives us a very good indication on the real world possibilities of what those phones can do. And check here again, the image that I get on my Xiaomi 14 Pro is just a tiny bit duller, not so bright and not so vivid compared to what I see on the S23 Ultra. I do use here the vivid display settings on the Ultra and also on the Xiaomi, and I have turned off the True Tone display on the iPhone to avoid this yellow tint. Check again, guys. From what I see right now, it seems to be pretty obvious that the Xiaomi 14 Pro either has issues with YouTube playing HDR video or something else is going on. Let me turn on the adaptive brightness on my S23 Ultra, the adaptive brightness here as well on the Xiaomi 14 Pro, the auto brightness on the iPhone that is switched on, and now I will restart the test. Just making sure that we're using the highest possible resolution. Now I'm gonna go back to full screen and restart the test. All right, let's see how this will go. Okay, probably a tiny bit better, but still lagging behind the iPhone 15 Pro Max and also the S23 Ultra. And that's set to see. I'm not sure if Xiaomi should further optimize HubOS, but what I can see on the screen is definitely behind compared to S23 Ultra and also to the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And remember, guys, the Xiaomi 14 Pro is the latest phone with all the latest technology, so technically it should go up to 3000 nits, but maybe just only on very small spots and only on selected scenarios. Let's keep watching the YouTube video, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna run a file that I have stored locally on the phones and just see how that will go. But definitely the Xiaomi 14 Pro right now is unable to achieve the same level of brightness when playing in both auto brightness, turn on and off, and also it is not so much vivid as you would expect from an HDR display. Okay, now let's go and let's play the manual video. And now we're back with the manual video, HDR HEVC 10-bit. It is a video by Sony directly, so I'm gonna play it on all of those phones, guys. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments. Is the iPhone 15 Pro beating the Xiaomi 14 Pro? Is the S23 Ultra beating the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the Xiaomi 14 Pro? Or is the Xiaomi 14 Pro actually beating both the iPhone and the Samsung? I have to say, this is better compared to what we had before on the YouTube, but still, guys, right? Under direct sunlight, it seems that the Xiaomi 14 Pro display is just not so vivid and also seems to be not so bright. Take a look here, just compare it. So what I'm thinking right now is it could be a setting, it could be some optimizations, I'm not sure. People always try to blame it on the applications, that this game or that game or this benchmark is Apple bench, that game is only optimized for Android. But at the end of the day, this is a real world test, guys. So you buy this phone, you put a YouTube video on, and you just expect it to work. And when they make a promise to achieve 3000 nits, yeah, it's good to kind of see this, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm a bit surprised that the Xiaomi 14 Pro display seems to be lagging behind, and not only when we have bright areas, only these very dark areas where exactly HDR should shine. Take a look here, guys. Let's watch a bit more, but please, I appreciate your opinion and your feedback, so pause the video and let me know what you think down below. But let's assume that the issue was with the auto brightness. So let me just try to remove the auto brightness again and just make sure that we are full brightness. I'm going to remove the auto brightness here so that we are at max settings and the sunlight mode is on, and the same on the S23 Ultra. Then I'm going to restart the test, guys, and then I believe that we'll have enough footage to just be able to draw some conclusions. Just, if you're tuning in right now, a recap: Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, Xiaomi 14 Pro, and then here, guys, iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm texting here a real world scenario playing an offline HDR 10-bit video, which is a sample from Sony. It's 4K, of course. And if you're just tuning in right now, you might want to rewind a video where I tested the same from YouTube with the auto brightness set to on and off, because on those two phones we have an extra option to adjust and turn on the sunlight mode. And it's still the same, guys. My eyes can see that the Xiaomi 14 Pro is not so brighter. I'm not saying again it's bad, but the image is dull. And even the darker area are not so dark when we enter, let's say, a very dark place. But what worries me is that it just seems really off, and that's not good. That is not good at all. See here, even in those very dark areas, it seems that the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 15 Pro Max are a bit more consistent. The image is brighter, the image is more vivid, and technically under direct sunlight you're able to see more details. And if you're here for the first time and you want to check iPhone 15 Pro Max versus Samsung S23 Ultra and the Xiaomi 14 Pro real-world scenarios, use cases, simulated cases, benchmarks, gaming, please watch my 10 last videos. Thank you so much for staying. VST over and bye.